Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. This is Baltimore Positive. We are positively in the epicenter of Dundalk positivity. We are at Costas Inn. It is all brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. They have a beautiful lottery machine right here. People are playing racetracks. They're playing Scrabble. They're playing stuff. They're going to be playing the Magic 8 Ball here. This is the last of the Magic 8 Balls. When we arrive at the Beaumont next Thursday, I promise to have the fresh Back to the Futures. We're also going to be at Cooper's North in Mays Chapel on the 23rd. We're going to be at Coco's in Lauraville on the 30th. And we are here at Costas celebrating Mister Costas' life, celebrating the new Timonium location. And it's Dundalk coming together. Chuck Jacobs is the manager of the Fountain at Drug City. This is Drug City, Colgate, Stricker, North Point Boulevard, the North Point Drive-In, the Roll Arena, Gales, all connected here down to Pop's Tavern. We are one big, happy community here. Nick is here from Costas to bring some family love. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. Best considering the circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, your dad's been staring at me here. He's got pictures on the wall.
He's all over the place, isn't he?
He's alive to me. I keep looking back in the cage here. I see Mike.
Yeah.
I on his birthday, I'm having a hard time, and I know you are as well, but I've been texting with your brother today. Your father set this whole thing up that life would go on without him, and I come in here today, I had a delicious crab cake, Timonium's happening. Everything your father set out to do in life, certainly, I think in this last month, we've realized how much he accomplished.
Yes, he did. Tremendous amount. What can you say about the man's life, you know?
Well, you put that picture up this morning, 4 in the morning, of the birthday cake, and I had to reshare
that was a great shot of him, wasn't it?
Now, what are the odds? Chuck, I text Pete a day after I left here Super Bowl week, and I said April 11th is the next time I'm coming in.
That's
and I just settled
just
on
out
April.
of that date, huh?
I did not know it was his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I clearly thought he'd be here. I always thought he was going to do the show. He never did the show with me, and the reason was he didn't like his English enough. He would always say to me, no, they don't want to listen to me. You put Pete and Nick on.
And that was the beauty. That accent was awesome, wasn't it?
He refused to come on. And then he started making fun of me, where he would come over when I'm packing the bag up. He would wait for me to get the last cable. Everything would be in. He's like, I'm ready to do this. I'll do next time. We'll do next time. Yeah. And then next time never came. What would he say about this business? Because the question I would ask him, and I'll channel you and your brother and your sister when you come on, is how did it wind up here? I mean, how did it wind up here in this area? Because Ken even came and said, we used to play men's baseball back here. There was a field back here. You were a boy when that. We're going back a long time, right?
Oh, yes.
How did Dad make it to Dundalk, of all things?
Well, when he came over from Greece, he ended up in Edgemere, of all places, down there off of Lincoln Avenue.
Why?
Well, that's where his family was.
Okay, they were already here.
Yep. So he came here, and he lived on Lincoln Avenue, and they had a bar, Nick's Bar at the time, which is now the Sail Inn.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was there for several years. He met my mom in 60, and they got married in 61.
And here we are.
And
you came on 60.
Yeah, very shortly, 62, yes.
All right,
yes,
there you go. All right, well.
Yeah, from Edgemere, and then they would drive by this place, and my dad would say, one day we're going to own that place.
All right.
Yep, and eventually he ended up making that.
How much was here?
Just the original bar here.
Just
That's
the original bar.
Yep,
okay,
yep.
and
that is the original
the
bar.
The addition came when?
In the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
91, 92 for the addition.
90s.
Yeah.
I remember when I came in with my mom the first time and the addition happened. She lost her bearings. Because my dad would bring my mom down here some Friday nights for crabs and whatnot, leave the kids at home. This was an adult place. Now, Ruggerio's, because we could walk to Ruggerio's. Right. We could walk to Ruggerio's, so that made it different because my family didn't drive, you know. Right. So that's where we were. But when they went out without the kids, they came here.
Right.
And more than that, the last time I saw your father alive back there, I tried to get him in a picture, and
was he being shy?
Pronounce your last name so I get it right.
Triantafilos.
That's the East Baltimore pronunciation. That's not
the way
Triantafilos
is the,
all right,
if you want a little Greek flair to it.
Last time I saw him alive here, I looked across the bar. I was with my wife on this side, and one of my best friends growing up, John Raffalidis, good Greek guy, Raffalidis family.
That's right, you ran into
him. So I ran into John Raffalidis with his wife, Margie, and their daughter, and she's a little basketball player, softball player. And I saw him. I saw Love. I came over. Your dad was kind of in the way over there by the lottery thing. And I thought, I wanted a picture, and he disappeared. And I'm like, all right, then we'll just take the picture without him. And we took the picture of me. And then I looked at Margie, and I realized Margie's dad was my dad's driver to work. But he always worked the 3 to 11 shift, and my dad worked day. So sometimes on weekends, my dad would pick up a 3 to 11 to get time and a half, right? Because that's where the point was, right?
Yep.
And Mr. Joe would be his driver. So I looked at her and I thought, oh, my God, you married my best friend. Your father used to drive my father, get their checks cashed under the whiskey sign, and they would bring home in a bag steamed shrimp. The only way God meant for them with beer and onions, the way you do them. You know what I mean? The way you do them. And my dad would bring shrimp home if he was late on a Friday. My mom would know it was always a Friday because of fish and like all that. My dad would bring shrimp home from Costas with Mr. Joe Thomas, whose daughter married my friend, who I took a picture with here 3 weeks ago, because that's what Dundalk is it not?
100%.
Baltimore, right?
Yeah. So how long have you been coming to Costas? Because every time I come in, Chuck manages Drug City, but I'm 2 out of 3 times I'm here, you're here.
Yeah. I was 16, so it was 1989, and this is before the restaurant side. And I was working on the grounds crew for the Orioles. And
I knew that
grew
about
up here in North Point Village, and there was
What saint?
St. Monica.
Okay.
I still have the house by the elementary
My son's
school.
mother is St. Patricia Court.
Yep,
So there you go. A lot of saints. We got a lot of saints in the family.
That's right. And we need
Hard to be a saint in the city. Sorry, just
right. No, you're right.
I got to give that.
No, well, we needed a place to cash our checks. So we came to Costas, and we'd park in the lot where the restaurant is. We'd come in that side door, hook the right, and go right to the window.
Everyone came in that side door.
Right. And then there was 2 gentlemen working, and most of the time your dad was here, and Nick and Pete were cashing checks, and they see my logo on the check, and it was the Baltimore Orioles logo, and Nick more than Pete. But we start talking baseball, and next thing you know, I'm standing at the window for 15 minutes. And that happened for 3 years straight. And then the restaurant opened up, and my daughter, it was her first ballet recital, and we said, let's try to stop down and get some food. They got a restaurant at Costas now. We came in, and it was packed. I mean, it was just open not long before that. And Pete saw me come in, excuse me, and he picked up a reserve sign and said, Chuck, right here, I got you. And it was great. So then when they had music here, my previous band played here many of times. Jim and I played here, Heavy Soul, and so I just coming in, just relationships. And then my sons both worked here, crab room, servers, etc. And
you've employed half of Dundalk, your family.
We got some reach,
really,
yes. Chuck's family,
People would say, like, you'll go there by yourself. I'm never by myself, ever.
No.
I know someone here always.
That's true.
So I never had a problem, like, coming after work to get a drink and watching a game with Nick.
It really is the truth that when I'm in here, I never know who or how I'm going to run into somebody.
But you
can't.
will.
Bino came in.
Though, you're right.
I've been here 3 hours now. Bino came in, right? And Bino and I started the show, and I'm like, welcome back. We're WNST. And then Sasha Beaver's sister, Julia's looking at me. I just started the show, and she walked out. She's making monkey shines here over your father's memorial stuff, laughing at me, waving to me through the window. And, I feel like I'm at home when I'm here today. This doesn't feel like work coming in here and talking
One
about
big
my
happy
love
family,
for your
isn't it?
father. You know what I mean?
100% it is.
Well, he radiated love.
Well, today's his birthday, and I swore I wasn't going to make you cry, and you're not going to make me cry because I'm crying. Dude, I was wrecked when I left the funeral a couple Sundays ago, and I went home. I went to bed at 6:30 that night. I woke up at 3 in the morning.
What an outpouring of love, huh? That line.
All I can think about
people,
when we lose special people in this community, when I'm talking about like Scunny, Art Donovan,
Scunny,
I've gone to these funerals in this city that I hope the people in the caskets knew how much people love them and how much a bar and feeding people. It is the Cheers story. It really is. 100%.
Everyone was his friend. Everyone was his friend.
Oh, there's no question.
He took a vested interest in everyone he met. He connected on such a human level, such a personal level. Yep. He was always there to lean on if you ever needed
100%.
a picker-upper.
Yep.
He celebrated all your great accomplishments if you had something great happen in your life.
But then
genuinely
he
cared.
embraced your sorrows with you as well.
Yep.
And
He was there for
one
you.
or two words, but that's all you needed.
Well, I told everybody when I wrote
it was genuine. It wasn't just because
very
of the business.
genuine.
It was very genuine.
I wrote that piece about him the morning of the funeral on that Sunday because I woke up and I'd been away all week.
Yeah, that was
when
a
he
great
died,
piece, by the way.
I left Epcot and checked in with my wife. I was in Epcot on that Monday before opening day, the day he passed. And that Monday night, I went back to a hotel room 9:30, and I was worn out. I walked 50,000 steps. I drank my way around Canada, some moose heads. But I came to my room, and I talked to my wife for a couple minutes, said goodnight to her, and I put the phone down, and the phone went off. And I was like half asleep in a hotel room, and I looked down. Ray Bachman texted me about your dad.
That's how you found out?
I'm like, dude. I'm like, I can't call my wife. I'm not calling her. Mm-hmm. And then she got mad in the morning. I was up at 4 in the morning and whatever, and then I had to tell her. Yeah. And my wife, she loved your dad, Absolutely. Man. So everybody loved your dad.
100%.
So you're going to go bust me up for it, but I'll just say this. In that period of time that week, I had to write about your dad, and I thought about what a institutional spot this is, that maybe that didn't resonate for your family. Maybe it has, and this will get me out of crying and talk about Timonium a little bit.
Yeah.
But you took on this second location. Speak on behalf of your family how many times Costas was told we should go to Bel Air, we should have a West Side, we should have a South Side, we should be at the airport, we should be at the Oriole games, we should, and You've run horses, you've raised a family, you've raised people, his kids, my mother, my kid, all of that. Mm-hmm. Pete called me Christmas week and he sent me a note. He's like, hey, I got to talk to you. I'm like, oh, shit, everything's all right. He's like, hey, we're going into the racetrack. It's not be official for a week or so. But, your brother called me, tells me this, and I'm like, that's interesting, but racetrack and your old man and all these horses around here.
Yeah, well, he was in the game 30 years, 600
winners. It feels like the place you're supposed to be, right?
Yep. Seemed like a natural progression,
doesn't it? Give me that, because the reason Nick's not here, he's out there right now. Or Pete's not.
Yeah.
Pete's Pete's there.
You're going to love the place when you see it, man. It's incredible. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Gives you the comfort of Costas, and just like you're here. Dad's vision. Pete's done a heck of a job.
When's it going to open? That's all that matters.
We're shooting for the end of April, so she'll be up before the Derby if all goes well. Knock on wood.
Whoa.
Yeah.
End of April.
Yep.
It's April 11 right
now. I know.
Are we that close, really?
We are that close.
Now, I'm hearing,
barring any major setbacks,
I'm getting the family, this is an insider interview. This is it. They will not have crabs, crabs in Timonium. You still got to come down to the Dirty D.
Yep, got to come to the original location for the crabs, yes. But we'll have all the other favorites that made this place what it is.
I just had 2 crab cakes. I had Bino Ranson here, and he's Gucci, these Sidonia guys. They want their crab cake broiled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm down and dirty. I want fried.
You fried?
Yeah.
I like fried, too.
I hate a fried one with my fingers
broiled,
today. I ate it finger by finger. I didn't get any fork, none of that today. And I'm like, crunch. And I'm
Good
getting
stuff,
it.
isn't it?
I'm like, that's the way I like it, So I can still get a fried crab cake in Timonium. I get oysters.
You can get everything you can get here except crabs. That's the only thing that you won't be able to get in Timonium.
So
Otherwise, the whole menu, all our favorites, the Rockefeller, everything's all there.
I did something to honor your dad today, and I didn't realize it till I ordered it. I was up in Toronto 2 weeks ago, and you can get anything to eat in Toronto. It's a big city, and I really was looking for a Hito. And or a shawarma, one or the other. Shawarma's a little more garlicky for me. My wife wasn't with me. I had to sleep with myself, so I don't know about the garlic. I got a blister. I wound up not getting the Hito. And then on my way over here today, I stopped. I got Chuck from Drug City here, by the way, and I got Nick from Costas. I got a little Drug City. I have a problem with Drug City. I'll take it up with George in a minute. But I came over earlier, and I sat at the bar here, and I got the menu. Karen brought it over. She's like, you know what you want? I'm like, I don't know what I want, but I think I want a Hito. So today, my daughter-in-law's favorite thing on your menu is the chicken Hito.
Oh, yeah.
Because you make the tzatziki. Yeah. They're Greek. They know what they're doing.
Yep. Mom's recipe.
That's Mom?
That's Mom's recipe.
Okay.
Yep.
I got it today, and I never get it because I get the shrimp, I get the mushroom caps, which are the best in the world. I get today, to honor your father, I got a silly chicken Hito here, like the last thing down on the menu for me after all the seafood, all the stuff you do, and it was unbelievably delicious.
Good stuff, huh?
I mean, it's like you're Greek.
Oh, yeah.
It's all Greek to me.
They got their act together back there.
Can I complain about Drug City? Can I launch a complaint officially? I went in today. How many bottles of wine you got in there, Chuck? 10,000?
Liquor store, I would assume quite a bit.
I went in today, and maybe it's because my wife has rated it, and you need to reorder it, George. Who's the managing the liquor store so I can get the right person?
Eric.
Eric, it's on you, Eric.
And Rachel. Rachel's the wine person. She does
Rachel,
like ordering specific
listen
bottles,
to me.
etc.
You are out of layer cake Malbec. And I went in there today. They had every Malbec, the Trapiche, and and I looked and I saw the back of one empty rack. It's full of Malbec. Every Malbec, Argentina, high, all this. Mine's gone. What are the odds of that?
It's very popular.
Has there been a
wine,
run
clearly.
on
I
layer
guess.
cake Malbec?
I guess it's very popular. Yeah.
All right, we'll regroup over there. And
Now I can help you with bourbon any day. But yeah, I can definitely. Eric or Rachel. Rachel does the ordering with Eric, of course.
Right,
So
put a case in for
Yes.
me. I'm going to case of that and a special discount. Drug City's like a place I've really been going all my life. Baseball cards,
Great place.
videotapes, that special little area in the videotape area that's now the fountain that I remember when.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes.
That's right. It was a videotape
Yes,
place. That's right.
it
I forgot
was.
that,
Well,
yeah.
right before I was 18. You know,
Yeah, I
right
was
in
gonna say,
1980, 85, 86, 87.
Tan City. That's right.
You got ID to go in there. That's for adults only in there. They got the smokers in there. Where the smokers were. You know what I'm talking
That's
about.
right. I sure do.
Nobody out there even knows what a smoker even is, right?
That's how old we are.
The fountain.
You're dating us.
Tell me
You're
about the
dating us.
fountain and what you do down there.
Old Time Soda Fountain. We serve up a great lunch menu every day.
What's this lobster mac and cheese? You're getting all bougie?
We're doing a little bit of lobster product now. We're
You're trying to
doing
put
lobster
Costas
mac
out of
and
business
cheese.
over there with the
No,
lobster
not at
mac
all.
and cheese.
Not at all. We do a nice menu every day for lunch, soup and sandwich rather, and nice little spot. Homemade sodas, just like they used to make back in the day, and it's a nice little place
You
to
made
be.
me a butterscotch. What'd you make me? A butterscotch? What's that thing? That whiskey thing?
Butterscotch old fashioned.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've had one old fashioned in my life,
Yep.
in my whole life,
It was you and your son.
and Gina Shock.
That's correct. And
From the
Gina was there.
Go-Go's.
That's right. Yeah.
I went in.
It was her birthday, wasn't it? Or your
It was
birthday?
my
Your
birthday.
That's
I
right.
did my show on my birthday in there, and my son, who never hangs out with me, he's gonna. Is he here now? He said he
haven't
was
seen
stopping
Barry,
by. I don't know
no.
where he is, but he only lives over here in Dundalk. But he came to the show, and I wrapped everything. I was kind of like your old man. Like I wrapped everything up, and I walked downstairs, and I'm walking through like somewhere where like the food is and all the bubble gum and the hair clips and everything's there in front of the pharmacy. And there's Gina Shock walking in the middle of Drug City. She wasn't dressed up, had no makeup
No.
on or whatever.
She was just
Never know
stopping
who's
to
gonna
pick up
show up
something.
there.
That's
she
right.
gives me a hug. She,
Yep.
what are you doing here?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, Gina. What are you doing
That
here?
was good.
And I said, it's my birthday. It's your birthday. We got to go get you a drink. Come on, let's go to the bar.
Yep.
That's
And
how
next
you
thing
ended
I
up
know,
over there, huh?
and I'm over
I
there
was there.
drinking
I was there that
highballs.
night, yep.
I'm drinking butterscotch highballs. By the way, Gina put the band back together. They're playing Coachella tomorrow
Yeah, she
night.
told me.
They're-
Yeah.
they're- and
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm seeing them in Vegas in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's
she sat
awesome.
here and she did Christmas right in this chair with
Yeah.
her dog,
Yeah.
with Penny, her little dog. So we got real celebrities in Dundalk, you know.
We do, yeah.
But no bigger celebrity than your dad. I don't
No.
think anybody.
That's
and
He was the mayor.
He was. He was the governor.
what
and the
has
president.
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
this course of losing your father? Is there anything poignant that's happened in regard to somebody knowing him with a story you didn't know about in some way?
Oh, jeez, so many. It's amazing how many people he touched. I mean, people
Did you
that,
learn something literally and say, I learned something that, oh my God, it took my father dying to learn? I never would have known that in a million years.
So many. It's just the one thing that resonated through all the conversations I had is how he would be there for people sometimes during their darkest moments. And
They
how
would
if
come
it-
to him.
Yeah.
When
They would
things got
come to
really
him.
bad, they would come to him.
Yeah. And how many people attributed the fact that they were here today because of that. And I'm talking more than one person. It's amazing how many people he touched on such a deep level.
He came in here as he was a quiet man.
Yes, very quiet.
He was
Very
a
humble
quiet
man.
I mean,
Quiet, humble
he
man.
intimidated me for years with his quietness, right? Like, I don't know how many years I came in here before I really started speaking to him. And I mean that in a respectful
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And I even mean that to the last breath that I saw him when he gave the pen to my wife. He came
Oh,
in.
he loved those pens,
I
didn't he?
watched him. I watched
He
him
loved it.
pour drinks here. The last time I don't know why I was fixated on him 3 weeks ago when I saw him here, but I was fixated on watching him, and he came over to me and he offered us a beer. Sweetheart, do you need a beer? You know, like it's what he always did. We were over there, and I watched him, and he gave my wife a pen on the way out, and I don't know why it struck me that he would give her a pen because we didn't want dessert. Like she was going out of town or something. She's like, I don't want any dessert. Don't put it, because he would put it in a bag and make her take it. You know.
He was that way. He was that way.
The gift to me in the whole aftermath when I wrote about him on that Sunday morning was that Vice video that Steve Cho from Ekobin came in, and I still got to get Steve on a show at some point.
Yeah,
but
that's an awesome video.
That video inspired my documentary that we did.
Did a good job capturing the essence of it.
Well, your brother texted me when it was live at Christmas time about a year and a half ago, and I didn't watch it for like another couple weeks. It already had a couple thousand views by the time I found it. And my wife and I watched it over dinner one night it's only 12 minutes long. And I watched it, and I'm like, that's who he is. And I don't know how Vice got him and your brother to sit down over there and tape that thing. But I wanted to do that with your dad so bad. And I was so thrilled in watching it that he said what he needed to say. And just the way I am, he said, you know. And to me, the fact that you have that and that was made was a real gift to me, because that replaced him coming on my show for me and the things I would ask. Because I would ask him how he got here or where he got. Because he didn't want to talk to me. He didn't want to do it.
You know, once he got to know you, he'd warm up a little bit, but he didn't like to talk about himself very much. You know, you talk about...
I know, and that's why I wanted to learn from him in that way.
I mean, he comes over here to this country at the age of 15 with $5 in his pocket, right? And you talk about stories of the significance of things that I didn't realize until later. Every time a young, little kid comes up, whatever, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, my dad will always give him $5.
My granddaughter.
Yeah, like your granddaughter.
My granddaughter would come in.
He would
$5.
Always $5.
Not 4, not 6.
No,
5.
always 5.
Yes.
And it took a long time to put it together, but when he came over from Greece, all he had was $5 in his pocket.
He was giving that $5 away his whole life.
It's kind of crazy, but that $5 just comes full circle all the way around. It was always $5 that he would give to somebody,
Well, my old man gave your old man $5 back in the 70s for shrimp again and again and again and again.
Oh, my God. What were crab cakes? Like 75 cents, 95 cents?
Yeah, I had Bino here, and I said, hey, you come over to Costas. He's like, yeah, man, Costas is legendary. His pal's taking crabs home to his mom, who she loves your crabs. So, and look, my son has shown up here. See, I knew he would be here. Wave hi to the camera. Tell everybody he's alive. He's still here. What color's your hair? Pink. All right, pink. That's good. That's all right.
You might be able to pull that off. I can't.
No. I can't. With this hair, look, let me let this out. Let me let this out. When I let this out, how can I complain about my kid's hair when this is what my hair looks like, right?
Pink beard?
They're trying to cut my hair. Why is a beard a statement for you? Because people ask me about the hair.
I started.
How long you have that?
10 years, 11 years.
All right.
Yeah, I just started growing it, and
did people not recognize you when it started to get a little crazy?
It's mostly people from school I don't bump into anymore. It's like I don't recognize them, or they recognize me. I don't, and I say, look, imagine no beard. Oh yeah. So yeah, I've had it ever since, and just go to the barber, Pat the barber around the corner, great guy. He's local Dundalk guy.
It's all part of the allure for you, man.
It just comes with the
Drug
package
City,
now.
Costas, my kids here. We got little league coaches here.
One
it's
big
a Friday.
happy community,
right? It is what it is, and
a lot of love.
Thank you for all the love over the years. We are all grieving the loss of your dad. We lost Vicky Brick this week.
Oh my God, another tremendous loss.
I am attending too many funerals. We're losing too many people.
Yeah, and Cole Connolly, another. Yeah, I mean, we lost some big guns in the last week. Three awesome people.
Well,
3 awesome people.
Come down and celebrate the magic that is Costas to pay tribute to the man. If you're up there in Timonium, you just wait. They're coming to you.
Give us 2-3 more weeks. Couple weeks. Hopefully by Derby Day.
Derby Day is where you are?
That's what we're shooting, yeah. If everything falls into
They'll
place.
be open by Preakness.
Definitely.
Whatever you think.
Hey, you never know.
Add 2 weeks. There's zoning. There's all sorts of things. All right, my thanks to Nick for being here.
Thanks for
Pete,
having
I
us.
love you. Christine, we'll get you on here. I'll make you cry later on. I made it through. I got a little misty.
Yeah, we made it through, thank God.
I made it. Thank God for that. I don't want to mess. Go see Chuck over at Drug City. He's at the Fountain. And if he really likes you, he'll make you a butterscotch thingy. thingy
Yeah,
thing.
they're pretty tasty.
Yes, they
I
are.
want to get over there. By the way, my wife and I had a big argument about whether you still had Tarka ice cream.
I do. Yes.
I know you do. I said to her,
Absolutely.
you just got to walk 5 feet. I didn't see it. I'm like, I
It's
walked
back
over
by
today.
the check cashing
Birthday
window.
cake.
Yep.
They do it all over there. Drug City's as great as it's ever been.
They do a great job.
Did you
over
stop in looking for me?
I did stop and look.
I was upstairs doing something. I came down. The girl said, "Some man stopped him with a ponytail." I said, "I thought you left."
Sexy guy.
I said, "She did say that."
Yeah,
yes.
right. Exactly.
Now that ponytail makes sense, I'm like, it was Nestor.
Listen, you got any pull over there?
I don't know if
Get me some layer cake Malbec. Let's go.
I'll definitely speak to Eric about it.
Thirsty.
Yeah.
Thirsty.
I'll do my very best.
Good
All right.
stuff, I take
Yes.
it, huh?
Hey,
I
can
guess
I
so.
ask you what your dad drank when he would come back and pour red wine? What was the red wine that he drank? Because he would always come by and pour himself like
he
a
would
little
drink
something.
a Chardonnay, a little white wine. He would drink like a Cabernet.
A cab.
Bit, yeah.
A cab
Yeah.
was his thing. Okay.
Cab.
He
Yeah,
was
he would
always trying to
he
pour
would go
me
in
wine.
phases, though. He would go in phases.
He
Yeah.
He always tried to get me drunk at this bar.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
I just tried to stop. And I would say
You
to
almost
him,
had to hide your glass.
I'm driving
yeah, yeah.
home.
and
I'm
sometimes he'd
driving
get you a new
home.
glass.
Oh, yeah.
He
If he got
would
on a
always,
roll,
But
he'd
you
go on
could
a
never
roll.
say no to him. Like,
No.
okay.
I would get up, go to the
The
bathroom,
ultimate
I'd come
host,
back,
right?
and there'd be a beer
Absolutely.
waiting for me.
Yep.
And my wife would be like, I told him you didn't want it. I told him you didn't want
Yes,
it.
he was.
It's all right. It's all right. You
Right.
drink. You drink.
Right, right.
So,
And if you say no, he'd say, "How about half?" Okay,
Yeah.
half. Right.
You would negotiate.
Yes,
I'll just
he
top
would-
it off.
see,
Yeah.
yes, he would. He
Nick,
was
you're such a
That's so
you're such a
true.
Baltimorean like all of us.
Oh,
you
yes.
you call it Costas like everybody else. I remember having Ted Venetoulis with me, and this is when I was going to run for mayor. And
a
I talked to
great
your
guy.
dad one day.
Ted was a great
Ted
guy. Yeah, great man.
credited
Good man.
this establishment and Dundalk and him becoming Baltimore County executive back in the 70s, 76. I campaigned against him for John Coulahan, and he said to me, "We beat his ass." That's what Ted said to me. And Ted was this big at the end of his life. But Ted, when I brought Costas up, he would Costas.
Yeah,
he
the
would
Greek
he would
pronunciation, yep.
he would always pronounce your
Yeah.
dad's name the
Costas.
right way.
Yep.
And I butcher your family name. I do it terribly. I always say Triantafilos. Is that good enough?
That's good enough, yeah.
How could I really say it again?
Well, I mean, Triantafilos.
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 Dafilos. I
Yep.
got Dafilos.
You want to go the Greek
okay.
with Triantafilos.
All right.
Yep.
Now my Greek is skata. That's what it is.
Not bad.
I
It's not
learned that in
bad.
first
You
grade.
give yourself a little bit of
Mark
credit.
Cornelius taught me that. Chuck is here. Nick is here. Pete is out laboring right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
getting
He's a timonium
all
head this
of
way,
the.
actually.
What are you putting in out there? Everything. Soup to
Everything.
nuts.
Everything.
Full on.
I mean, you're not going to recognize that place when you see it if you were used to what was there before. I mean, everything. Everything.
Am I going to get
I
invited
mean, it's
to
a
the
neat
grand
place,
opening?
man. Huh?
Am I going to get invited to the
Yeah,
grand
yes,
opening?
of course, of course. Yes, of course.
I smell a crab cake tour stop in Timonium near home. So, all right,
Yeah.
we're going to sign off from Costas.
It's gonna be a neat place.
He's got places to go, people to see, things to do. Chuck's
Thanks
got to
for
get
having
me
me.
some layer cake Malbec. Got to
on
find out who the layer cake rep is. I need some
I'm on it.
sponsorship. I need some representation for Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
All right, I'm
find
feeling
out.
whiny.
Good stuff.
You're
All
good.
right, I did some whining, but no crying here on the program.
Yep, we got
I am
through.
Nestor. My thanks to the Maryland Lottery. The Magic 8 Balls are available here at Costas. Come by, get some crab cakes. It is the Crab Cake Tour Stop. My thanks to the Maryland Lottery. My thanks to Bino, his pals, Greg Zapaniak, my son for stopping by, and Karen for putting me into a delicious chicken hero to honor
You
the
can't go
Papa.
wrong with that.
No.
Costas. We're back for more on WNST. We are Baltimore Positive. Nothing more positive than signing off from Costas Dundalk and awaiting Costas Timonium.